Hi, class. It was great talking to you and meeting all of you on Saturday. Today is Monday, and I wanted to give you a little bit of a scoop on what's going on with Go React. Okay, so I was able to talk to them. We went back and forth through email, and they don't have a live person in their customer service, so it took a little while. But apparently we do have a contract with them, but they hadn't linked our department to to their license site. So what happened is I what I did is I tried to create a student account just by going through that group link, just to see what are the challenges you might face if you're trying to create an account. And I saw that they're asking me for access code or asking me to pay money. And both the options are not what you should be seeing, because COD has a license with them and we've already paid. So I had to go back and forth and tell them that we are licensed users and my students don't need to pay for this. And they said immediately, yes, absolutely. They had to do something on their end so that you are able to create an account without anyone asking you for money. Okay. So what I did is, on my part, I went to Go React and I created an account as a student, to just to see whether now the second time I'm able to access it uh, without without any hurdles. And I was able to access the account without any hurdles. And what I've done is I wanted to create this video and show it to you so that you're able to do this. Um, and right now I'm going to take you to Go React. Just give me a second here. I'm going to do a screen share. All right, so right now, class, we are in our Blackboard homepage. As you can see that my homepage is Blackboard page, has lots of courses. I'm sure it's going to be different in your homepage may look a little different. But this is what I'm just going to the class link. I'm clicking the class link. And if you see at the left side of the panel, you will see that there are different things, different tabs. And what you need to do is you need to click Go React. All right. Once you click Go React, this is the group link. Okay. This is the one that it's common for all of us. You need to click this link and it takes you to a different page. Okay. So once you click this link, it takes you to this page and you go to, and you see another link. It's pretty much the same thing. You click it again, and this is what you see. You see this page. Of course, you right now, this email and password will not work because you don't have an account. So you can't do this, and you can't do this login because you don't have an account as yet, but you will very soon. So you just need to click create account, and this is what you're going to see. Course confirmation. It lists my name and it lists my email address and everything. Uh, and Once you see this, you click continue. All right. And this is pretty much, you know what, this is pretty much the last step that you will have to go through. You just enter your first name, last name, and email address an email that you use, because if there's any communication that doesn't seem so, but I mean, I really don't have a whole lot of communication through Go React. But you can put in an email that you use and create a password. Just follow these rules and then confirm the password. Click I'm age 13 or older, of course you are. And then this will become, once you see that everything has been filled correctly, you will see that this gets activated and you could click continue. This pretty much is the last step, which was very nice for me, because no longer did I have to look for the instructor. I didn't have to look for the name of the institution, nothing. It just directly takes me. And as I mentioned to you, I tried as a student, and it just directly took me to the course. So it's just a one-stop process. So this should be good. You should be good with that. Now I'm just going back. I'm not going back. I'm going to do stop sharing the screen. Stop share. And just to give you a little bit of if you need any help in regards to what you need to do this weekend, and some of you have missed the class on Saturday, so I'll just do a little bit of a quick overview, and it may be helpful for the rest of us, because of course it's going to be helpful repetition. Then I'm also going to talk about a few concepts. So here we go. I'm going to do a screen share again, and I'm going to take you to Blackboard. All right, so here we go. We need to go to Blackboard. All right, so we need to here. Okay, so this is our course. So as again, this is always what you need to do is you need to click syllabus. All right, once you click syllabus, you will have this link, and once you click this link, it's directly going to take you here. It's going to open this page for you, and this is what you should know, that we met on January 30th, and we did a whole lot of course introduction. We introduced yourselves. I talked to you about what the course intends to do, what my goal for the class is, and I also got to know, how interested you are towards public speaking, what are the things that you want to work on. So we got an overview of that, and then I told you read these chapters for our next class. So you're going to read chapters 1, 12, 14, 15, and 16. And where do you get these chapters? It's an online free book. I'm again going back to let's say new share. Okay, so I'm just going back to yep. So here, if you can see this class, this is where we need to go to. You can see there's this Go React link, and then right above that, there's a link called textbook. Okay, that's the tab that you need to click. And once you do that, you will see that it takes you to this link. It's basically an online book. We've already purchased it. You don't have to buy it. You just click this and it takes you here. You click it again, and then you need to go and then just correspond. Look at what are the chapters that you are supposed to read: 1, 12, 14, 15, and 16. Go to the book. Yeah. So you need to go to the book and read those chapters that have been assigned to you. Again, where has it been assigned? It's been assigned on your syllabus, in the course schedule. The readings are there, and the chapters have been listed. You just need to open the online book and read the chapters. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so next thing that I want to show you is stop share here. I'm just going to share again. All right, I'm again on Blackboard. This is where we are, and just showed you a few helpful links. Go React, as you know that you need to set up an account. Everything is here. And then textbook, I just showed it to you. Right now we're right there. And then you have your weekly assignment and your PowerPoint. Okay, so these are the few things that you'll see that we're going to use it very regularly. And if you click PowerPoint, you will see that I have already posted your week 1. Okay, so these are certain things that I'm going to discuss with you a little bit more, I'm going to do that in the video. And before I get into this, I also want to show you the weekly assignment. Right here is your weekly assignment class. And so these are the things that you need to do, okay? So this is, again, available here on the left side of the panel. It's called weekly assignment. That's where all your weekly assignments are going to be posted. As I mentioned to you, that this class will have 4 graded speeches, and you'll have weekly assignments every week. All assignments are going to be due, the weekly assignments are going to be due on Fridays, okay? So on Fridays at 11:59 p.m., all right? And I kind of kept a same deadline for all your weekly assignments. The reason is just making it consistent so that I know with consistency, students remember deadlines and gets into their system as well. So this is where the first week's assignment is. I would like, based on your readings, which is the chapters that I've asked you to read, which are chapters. Here we go. I'm just going to quickly read it. You are supposed to read chapters. The amount of times I've repeated it, it'll probably get into my memory as well. It is chapters 1, 12, 14, 15, and 16 that you need to read, and just going back. Okay. Okay. So going back, based on the chapters that you've read and based on what I will be discussing today in this video, you will have to respond to some of these questions. Some of these questions are something that we remember when we interviewed each other with the icebreaker that we did in class. You've already asked your classmates about some of these questions. So now you just got to answer it for yourself and type it using the link right here. You can see this is weekly assignment. So click weekly assignment when you have to write your response, and then respond to question 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, not and. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the written part of the assignment. So you just go there, you read, respond to questions 1, 2, 3, and 4, and hit write submission. If you hit write submission, a text box like this will appear, and you just type your response, questions, answers 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then click the submit button. Okay. So now the questions, I'm just going to discuss a little bit about the questions. A no-brainer one is, it's all your personal response. You would know what's the most challenging aspect of this class. You would know what one of your favorite speeches. I think all of you did mention what your favorite speech is. If you don't have a favorite speech, talk about any speech that you've heard, okay? Something that you remember, okay? It doesn't have to be your favorite, okay? So how do you rate yourself? We've already done that. Provide reasons. All of that. Question 1, 2, and 3 is very self-explanatory. You would know the response to it. Question 4 is something that I'm going to discuss with you today, and then you will see question 4 has a component here, which is George Bush's 5-minute speech. If you click this link, you'll see that it's a 5-minute speech that he presents right after 9/11, and he just has about 5 minutes to present his speech. So I would like to see, how do you see the 5 components of rhetoric play out? Okay, so the response to question number 4 is actually in your PowerPoint, the PowerPoint that I have attached for this week. So if you read that, and I'm going to discuss that as well, you should be able to do well in this particular speech, a particular question, right? So this is the written part of the assignment. And then, of course, you'll always have in this class a oral component, okay? So once you're done with this, I just want you to, hopefully by this time, you have created an account. And once you've created an account, you just need to go to Go React and record a 5-minute speech introducing yourself. So this is what you're going to see and this is what you're going to do. I'm just going to take you to Go React right now. These are the questions. You just need to, this is something that you have already written, all right? It's nothing new. You already, who are you, where you're from, all right? This is something that you did not write in the written part, fine. You make that, you create that or you make that up. And you say one interesting thing about yourself, which is something that you did not address here. I don't see that you addressed here. But so these are the two new questions. Who are you, where you're from, one interesting thing about yourself. I think we did that in class. Again, this is an overlap, as you can see. What is the most challenging aspect of this class and why and how you're planning to address that challenge? I would like to hear that from you. What is one of your most favorite speech? It's an overlap from the previous questions that you've responded by typing it all out. And I want you to now orally present that when you are introducing yourself. And what is that one most favorite speech of yours? What has led you to that choice? How do you see yourself as a public speaker today and provide reasons? What are some of the skills that you like to work on? Okay, so I'm just going to do a control copy thing. All right, so here we go. And this is what you do, hopefully by this time. Once I assume that you already have a Go React account. And I'm just going to Go React right now. You can see the number of times I tried to get into Go React. So once you get into Go React, this is the page that you will see. Let me see whether you're actually able to see it or not. Yeah, you are able to see it. Good. So once you get into Go React and provided everything is done, clear, you've already got a Go React account and you're able to get into it, this is what you will see. Okay, College of Due page, communication, Spring 21, class, Saturday, 9 to 11:15. It has to be you, right? So the first, this is due, as you've seen, the due date is due 5th February, February 5th, which is a Saturday by 11:59 p.m. All right. So once you, this is already there, you start an assignment. Okay. So this is what you got to do. You see this page, this is going to appear, right? Just the way I'm seeing it. And you click this red button here, it's called Start Assignment. Once you click this, let's say announcement, Reshmi's announcement, okay, or Reshmi's speech intro details. I do this. Okay, I do this. It lists me here. Okay. I don't know why it lists me. Okay, no, because I tried to get into this account as a student, so it still lists me as, but this is how it's exactly going to, I'm glad that this is still there because this is exactly how you're going to see this, okay? So I do continue. And I have these options as mentioned, record, upload, YouTube, Zoom, all right? I can, if I've already uploaded it I've already pre-recorded myself, I could upload it as a video file, I could do as a YouTube link, if I've uploaded it on YouTube, if I've uploaded it on Zoom. I'm just going to click record because I'm going to do it live, okay? So continue to recorder. Okay, so you can see that this is going on right now, and I've not hit record. It's still not recording me. I am prepared with whatever I have to say. I'm just going to do a little bit of add comments here so that I remember. Okay, so here we go. I click record and I am on. All right, so you can see once I hit the record button, it shows pause and it shows finish. So once I finish, that's when I can actually pause as well if I want to pause and then re-record. There's a continuation, but I will not do that. I will, this is what you need to do, class. These are the questions. This is the speech of introduction, and this is a part of your week 1 assignment. Just like you are going to read the chapters, You're going to read the PowerPoint, you're going to watch the video, you got to also do the oral component, which is this. So you have to tell me who you are, where you're from, one interesting thing about yourself, most challenging aspect of this class, favorite speech, what led you to this choice, how do you rate yourself as a public speaker today, provide reasons, what are some of the skills that you want to learn. Okay, so I guess it had a word cap and that's why it cut me out here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say who I am. My name is Reshmi, and one interesting thing about myself is that I love to cook and I love to try different kinds of cuisines. I try to make something new almost every day. That just keeps me going. That's my jam. So what's the most challenging aspect of this class? I think as an instructor, I feel that, you know, sometimes technology can go wrong. And that's, I think, one of the things could be most challenging is if technology fails, then I'm not able to see my students and I'm not able to deliver. And how am I going to address this challenge? I'll have some backups. All right. So that's from my point of view. You can say from your point of view is most challenging part maybe to, you know, it's a speech, you know, how to record it and how to really present your speech in 5 minutes. Okay, that could be or how to, you know, work on the introduction, or how to work on your, some of you mentioned vocalized pauses, ums, ims, ahs. That could be one of the challenges. What is my favorite speech? My favorite speech, and I'm saying these, this is not the way I really want you to. I want it to be like a more like a story where you're not really taking a lot of pauses and asking these questions, and responding should flow, right? So that's how. Favorite speech are several that I really enjoy. I watched one of the TED Talk speakers is about how to be mentally strong. I think she really made an impact on me because of the current situation that we are in, the current situations that I have faced in my life. I think it did make a difference to me to hear somebody who went through so much more crisis talk about a game plan, talk about how she was able to uh, look at life with a different perspective, and to gain courage and to be back on the saddle after falling down. So I think that was very motivational, inspirational for me. So that's one of my favorite speeches. How do I rate myself as a public speaker? Probably a 7. I think I really need to improve communicating with. That's one of the main things that I feel that I need to be able to communicate not only with an audience that I'm familiar with, but with an audience who's very different than what I'm used to. And if I had to do the speech in a remote village in Afghanistan, what would I say? How would I still reach out to those students? So I just feel that you know, my adaptability, the way I write my speeches, the way I present myself, that should have a really big, wide appeal. And I think that's what I would like to make a difference, or like to improve in. So those are some of the things that I you know, I wanted to see. And it's already 4 minutes to 40 seconds. So this is what exactly you have to do. Just keep the flow going. Stand, don't sit like me. This is my instructional thing. So stand 5 minutes, you know, be at least 6 feet away. If you have little note cards where if you don't remember what you have to say, those note cards are going to help you, just a few words, and just start talking as if you're telling a story. So yeah, so I'm just going to click the finish button right now, and hopefully this is going to help you. Post. All right, so here we go. I will do stop share here. Okay, So we are back, class, and I'm going to talk to you now a little bit about the content and because we spent a lot of time with Go React and all the technical details. And let's now go to what we have, what we are supposed to do. Okay, so I'm just going to share screen. All right, here we are, class, and I'm going to go to to PowerPoint instructor. And once I click this, it takes me here, and I click this and it takes me to this file, and I open this file. Okay, so let me see whether you're able to see it or not. New share. Yeah, you are not able to see actually. Okay, now you will be able to see. All right, so the first thing, class, is let me just put you here and then, okay. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is rhetoric, okay? And I am using this term, and I'm talking about this term, then you'll hear me use it quite often. The reason is that this whole class that we're doing, the whole content of this class is based out of one concept, which is rhetoric. And I don't know how many of you've heard about this term and in what context and what capacity you've heard this. But rhetoric is not a term that typically when we hear this term, and I'm not sure how you've heard it, but typically when we hear this term, it's kind of used negatively. When people talk about rhetoric, if they think about it as empty talk, just words, and politicians use it. They really don't mean, they just need to get votes, and that's why they're using it. So it has a pretty strong negative context, right? But that's not how it was designed. And I'm going to show you the book. I actually have the book, and I kept it for you, but I forgot to get it out. 1 second here. Okay, to really reach hard for this book, and my bookshelf is down. Okay, so this is the book. Okay, class. So this is the book, and this is the whole book. This whole public speaking that we are doing, the speech communications, all being taken out of this book. And who wrote this book? Aristotle. All right. So we everything, all the concepts are from this book that have been, and you can see that this is the main book, and all the public speaking lectures, the public Toastmasters, the webinars, the classes, online classes that you see pop up on your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed is all taken from this Bible. Okay, so Aristotle is the person who, during his time, he talked about rhetoric, and he had no clue that people are going to use it negatively, because when he mentioned about the concept of rhetoric, he said that rhetoric is the art of persuasion. So he said that we need people who are able to persuade an audience. We need people who are able to convey their ideas to an audience. And I think anybody can be a good public speaker if they know what rhetoric is. And he says rhetoric is the art of persuasion. Okay, that's what he says. It is an art of persuasion. It is whether it is a craft or a science. He always said, and there's so many schools of thought, but rhetoric is not science. It is a craft. Okay, it is something that you build. All right, you make changes to it, and it's just it has fluidity. It's fluid. You can create it, you can make it, just like cooking, right? It's just like it's a craft. So he says that if you have a few things, a few components in you, then you can be a good public speaker. So he talks about these components as ethos, logos, pathos. These are the three things when you read his book. these are the three things that he talks about. However, he also talks about two other concepts, which I felt when I read this book that those two are also very important for a public speaker, and those are kairos and telos. Okay, so ethos is when a speaker has a strong sense of ethics. Okay, so he says that in order to be a good public speaker, you need to be honest, you need to be credible, you need to have a command over the audience, and about the topic that you are talking about. You might have noticed that there are some speakers who come with a lot of life experience, okay, and with a lot of with a lot of life experience. They may not have several PhDs, but they come with a lot of life experience, and that kind of convinces us to hear them, okay, to listen to them, because they have been through the several ebbs and flows in lives. And then there are another category of speakers who come with technical degrees, with PhDs, with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of degrees, and then we tend to also give them attention, okay, because they've earned their credibility. It depends, okay, and you'll see that in sometimes we give that a lot of weightage, sometimes we give life experience a lot of weightage, sometimes it's a combination of both, okay. So and you can see this TED talk has happened, and you can see different speakers with different kinds of life experience and different kinds of backgrounds who are making an impact on us, and sometimes on their communities through the work that they've done, and through the messages that they are giving. So that's what he says when he says ethos. He says the ethos is a word that comes very close. It's a root word, and I'm sure you must be thinking about it, but the word ethos is very close to ethics, all right? So that's what he says, that a speaker needs to have a strong sense of ethics, okay? So I did talk to you about, here we go, 1 second here, class. Yeah, this is the page that you need to be. So these are the 5 components, class. So I just talked about ethos. I'm probably going to stop sharing, and I can talk to you, just chat with you about this. So that's the first component. He says ethos, and then the next component is logos. All right, logos, again, the word is a root word. It's a Greek root word, and a word that you are familiar with would be with logos is logic. I'm sure now it rings a bell. So logic, he says that in order to persuade an audience, the speaker needs to have a strong sense of logic. He needs to really know what to say and how to say and when to say, all right? So he needs to be able to connect with the audience. Exactly what I was saying when when I was showing you all how to do the speech of introduction is, I need to know my audience very well in order to be able to reach out. So I know that when I'm talking to all of you, I need to have a different kind of voice. I need to use different kind of examples. And if I'm talking to a group of, I'm thinking of maybe a group of 8th graders, I will have a different kind of, I'll use different examples, different tone of voice, all that. I'm going to change it accordingly. And then if I'm talking to a group of administrators in college, then again, my content, my examples are going to be different, right? So my strategy is going to be different, okay? So these are the things a logical public speaker will always think about this, okay? So he talks about it in the form of logos, and you'll see that every instructor has their own way of approaching this. But the way I think about logos is I always feel, and just echoing Aristotle's thought about this, is when he talks about logos, he talks about human beings as storytellers. And he says, no matter even if you're giving a scientific presentation, a technical presentation, what's your story? Do you have a good story? and you'll see that by and large through all presentations that you're hearing is people are going to say that just, you got to create a good story. All right. So for all your presentations, for all your public speeches, you remember, think about yourself as a good storyteller. One who's a good storyteller is a good public speaker too. So with strong logos, with a person who uses strong logic is also is able to weave his logic in such a way that the story comes out pretty strong. When I hear the person's speech, I am able to imagine myself in the story. I may say that this might happen to me, or this could have happened to my friend. I'm able to recreate or imagine myself in the person's story. So that's called, there's another, the scholar called Walter Fisher, he calls this as narrative probability, which means that I'm able to picture myself within the person's story. And again, you must have seen that this in your life when you hear some speeches and you say that this sounds true. This may have happened. This could have even happened to me. And there is a moment which kind of lights up, and you have this moment where he says, "Oh, this could have happened to me," and that's what we call in a story. That's the component which we call as narrative fidelity, which means does the story ring true? And good storytellers are able to work on that. Okay, so if you have a good logos, good logic, you're able to create strong stories, which will let the audience imagine themselves in your story that you're saying, and also let them to believe you. Good speakers, as some of you mentioned, some really good motivational speakers, you're able to believe them, right? And that's what's made this speech so powerful, is that you are able to believe and you know that this is possible. They're able to motivate you. So he said, that's what Aristotle says, is a good storyteller is a good public speaker. All right. So we talked about ethos, we talked about logos. The third concept is pathos. All right. So pathos, again, root word comes from the word that we know is passion and pathos, right? So a good public speaker is able to create passion in the audience. So he or she will be able to stir the audience's emotions. Okay, maybe move them to pity, move them to anger, move them to thinking. All right. So that's a good public speaker will do that. So that's ethos, logos, and pathos, and that's what he said. Aristotle says these three things. You have these three things, you're good to go. You'll be work on these things. You're going to be a good public speaker. But I did add two more components, which he does talk about that in his book, and those two other components are kairos and telos. So let's talk about kairos here. So kairos is a kairotic moment. Okay, it's a right moment to talk. So when you're going to do your topic selection, I will ask you, what topic are you going to be talking about? So it's basically based on the historical moment that you're in right now. Pandemic and pandemic has created so many topics that we can talk about. So it's a hot topic, the right time to talk about a topic that will make the maximum impact on all of us. So that's what kairos is. It's the right timing, right topic, right time to talk about it. Now, and the final concept is a little loaded, but I really thought that you will be able to get it and you'll be able to master the concept. It is called telos. And telos is this continuous movement towards perfection. Okay, so every speaker has a purpose. Okay, so whenever he or she chooses his a speech topic, the speaker has a goal and a purpose, and it's always towards it takes us. It's a forward movement. Okay, so it kind of it's forward looking. It takes us towards perfection. All right, so that's when you are thinking about your topic, you will have you have an immediate purpose, right? This is if I say this speech, if I talk about this topic, well, the good thing that will happen for the audience immediately is this. In the long term, these are the good things that's going to happen for my audience, right? So this is what pulls me towards making this speech, because I have a purpose, and that purpose is for the well-being of the audience. So every public speaker has that. A good public speaker has that in mind. It's the telos. It's what pulls you towards this topic, because it always has to be the welfare, the goodness in your heart, you want the audience to benefit from your topic, right? So that's one of the things that is telos, right? It's a loaded concept, and I think if you have that as well with ethos, logos, pathos, and kairos, you have telos, a sense of purpose. I think you'll be a good speaker, right? So now going back to your homework, so you can see. I'm just going to share screen here. Okay, here we go. Here, so if I'm looking at your homework here, the weekly assignment, I want you to watch the speech and whatever I just mentioned to you, and I showed you the slide and it's already on Blackboard. And now I want you to hear George Bush's speech, okay? And I want you to tell me what was the, when you heard his speech, based on what he was talking about. It was just a little bit of recap. It is about right after 9/11 happened. It's the same day. It happened in the morning, and this was probably announced 12 o'clock, I guess. I actually witnessed this one. I'm sure you guys were probably, I don't know, first graders. Every year I say this, and every year I tend to grow older, and then I have students who keep telling me that it started with I was in 8th grade, and now I can just have younger students who are, the years are passing, and then I am sure I'm going to have students who are going to say, oh, I was not born then, 2001, right? I'm sorry, not 2000, it was 9/11, 2000. So so that's so there's a little digression, but yeah, so you got to hear this speech and tell me, I just talked about rhetoric. I talked to you about why people have a negative connotation. What's the reason? You can do your research. You can just listen. You've already listened to what I said. You can even do your own research, trying to find why people talk about rhetoric negatively. What's the connotation that they have? I just discussed the 5 components of rhetoric: ethos, logos, pathos, kairos, and telos. How do you see all of that working? What's President Bush's ethos? What's his telos? What is the purpose of his speech? What's the logic? What kind of logic? What kind of examples? What kind of stories? What's the storytelling method that he's used? What's the pathos? What kind of passions has he aroused in this audience who just went through 9/11? So all of that, tell me about all the 5 components after you heard his speech, and tell me how do you see that unfolding? All right. So all of this is available here, as I showed you, and all of that I'm sorry, here to stop share. Yeah, so I will be meeting all of you on Saturday, which is February 6th at 9 a.m. I didn't give you all a break the first class, and I was also overwhelmed with so many things that I had to show, but I will give you a break. It's not, if you have to go to the bathroom or just have a glass of water, there will be a break. I'll just space it like in between so that you can take a break and go and take a break. I will have like a 10-minute break for our class. So that's that. I will see you on Saturday at 9 o'clock, and all your assignments, as I mentioned, do you have the written component part, which is do you on Blackboard? I showed you how to do it. And then you have the speaking part, which is on Go React. Hopefully all of you are going to be set with Go React now. You should be able to navigate it. I have spoke to them, and I'm glad that everything was done. It wasn't too late, and today is Monday. So thank you very much, class.